Welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are basically discussing a very sensitive topic, marital infidelity. We have just gone into defining what it is, how it expresses itself, and all those other things that are very important for us to know. But we have now come to that important time when we engage Dr. Boitumelo Rakwena. Like I said earlier on, she is a clinical psychologist, and her husband, Kakhelo Rakwena, he is a family therapist. Doctors, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kakhelo, for being here. From a family perspective, when you look at infidelity, what do you see as impact to the family as far as infidelity is concerned?
It doesn't affect only the husband and the wife. Mm-hmm. The children that are raised there, who are there,
yes,
whatever age they are, mm-hmm, it impacts them. It affects them. How men ought to be seen and respected, and how women have to be seen and respected. Mm-hmm. So, and also, sometimes when they are younger children, yes, they might even blame themselves if the infidelity ends the relationship, yes, that they were part and parcel of it, even though they are not.
Okay, that's fine. No, I hear that. And let's go to clinical psychology now. Let's look at some mental health challenges. Are there any related, apparent, clear mental health impact to the person, I don't know?
Yes, they are. When we look at the issue of infidelity, it's big and it's traumatizing. It may sound easy, but it's something that is very painful. Even if we were to go into research and look at it and what they found, when they were given the questionnaire to women who had gone through infidelity, and they were asked one question, which is more painful than infidelity. Women who have gone through various trauma, most of them said it's worse than physical abuse. Some who were gang raped, they said it's worse than gang raped. Some even said it's worse than losing a child. So you can see that it is really traumatizing. The effects of it needs to be taken seriously. If you have not gone there, you don't have to go there. If somebody is struggling because infidelity has been committed, you have to go with the victim and realize what this individual is going through. So it's not easy. It affects these people. They can suffer from depression, they can suffer from anxiety, they can, productivity is affected. It affects us in so many areas than we can ever imagine.
I just want to find out from any one of you, infidelity, is it something that runs in the family? Is it genetic? Is it given that if your parents were kind of unfaithful, you also be unfaithful? Is it genetic? Are the conditions that causes it under our control, or is something beyond? You just find yourself, you don't want to do it, but it has happened.
I will not say it is genetic, but I will say that you are socialized in it.
You are socialized, yeah.
Yeah, that you don't care about relationships and take relationships seriously, just as your grandfather didn't, and your father didn't. Yeah. And then you just fall into that trap. Yeah. And because the family doesn't hold you responsible to be faithful, because they've been practicing that, then you don't live for anyone except for yourself. Then you are not bound to be faithful, because you haven't seen it in the family. No one cares about it.
It's like in your family tree, people who got involved, there was no accountability on their part. They just did it, and I don't know, in my culture, they'll say, no, don't worry about men. You know, this is a men's thing and what have you. So it's like it's institutionalized in the culture. No, there is part of our culture. Men are bound to be unfaithful, and you already fall in the same trap.
It will depend, because if we have positive coping skills to deal with the case of infidelity, then you can go on. But you will find that most of the time we don't have those coping skills, we lack them. For example, when you have, for example, committed infidelity, and your wife, you see her being depressed, she seems to have no interest in you, and you don't really know what's going on. And she's getting irritated, depressed, and you are like, but you said you forgive me. What's going on? And then you start quarreling instead of supporting one another, because you think you just have to forgive and then it goes like this. But it doesn't. You have to build trust, and trust is built over time. Those contacts in your phone, they need to go. And the wife has to see that, or the husband has to see that you are really building trust, and you have to communicate it. So you have to allow her to go through that depression, that stage. Be there to support her, and be there emotional to say, hey, I understand what you are going through, and I feel it when I see you going through this. Not just to take things for granted that everything is going to just go like that.
So basically, before Kahelo comes in, we are looking at a situation where forgiveness has been given, but forgiveness is not automatic healing. It's like, I have forgiven you, sweetheart, for doing this, but don't expect that overnight I'm a normal woman again, or I'm a normal husband again. What do you do in a case where we have forgiven this woman, we have forgiven this man, and that very night they want conjugal rights? They have already forgotten that they were unfaithful. To them, forgiveness has taken place. Yeah, now let's run our marriage in a normal way. Are they crazy? Is it normal?
It's normal. It looks like crazy, but it's normal.
Yeah.
The woman will need a lot of nurturing, emotional nurturing, to build the momentum.
Yes.
Nurturing and affection is number one thing. But for the man, sex is number one thing. So to go through to the heart, to the skirt of a woman, you have to go through her heart, go through her feelings.
Yes.
So a man, because he's given affection and he's forgiven, he will think that, wow, everything is fine. But the man should understand that the woman needs to be wooed and be won and be cherished. She has to feel that before she gets into that.
I think we touched it when we talk about trust, that trust takes time to develop, and don't expect everything to go smoothly. This is a new relationship now, if we were to put it another ways. You are no longer in the first relationship. Trust has been broken and it has to be built. And you have to begin to understand each other. Talk about your issues. Talk about your emotions, where the other person is. And listen with empathy, empathizing with the other person, understanding where the other person is coming from. Otherwise, if you are not going to understand, you just want your own way, it's going to be difficult for you guys to go forward. So you need to be there for each other, to connect emotional, to make sure that it's going to be one step at a time. So even if it means you going for therapy to be equipped with the skills, coping skills that are needed for you to cope with infidelity, to learn what trust is all about, to learn what it will engage when it comes to forgiveness. So the therapist will take you through all these steps.
Another strategy, we need to understand that infidelity, you have withdrawn your account is on the negative. It's like taking 10,000 rands in your bank, which had 3,000. You remain with a negative 7 in the account. So you are not even in the positive. That means then you begin to deposit. Get out and wash dishes. If that will deposit 1,000, if that will deposit 500, deposit, build deposit. When you are out, call the other person that, sweetheart, I'm leaving work now, I am coming. I'm in the midst of traffic. You are depositing. You are building deposit until you come from the negative 7,000 to negative 2,000 to 0. And you begin to deposit and you have a positive account. So when infidelity is withdrawing very big sums of money from your account. And if the account was already at a low level, that means it is bad. When they go, infidelity, when you had 20,000 and you have withdrawn 15,000, the bank account is low, but you have remained with 5,000 on the positive. You are building not far from there. So it depends how far have you withdrawn from your account and where it is. Build, deposit, and sooner or later it will be going up. How fast you are depositing also contributes to that.
Let me complicate it further, doctors. This woman or this man is just venting anger. They sat down in front of a counselor, in front of a pastor. Okay, pastor, I forgive this woman. I forgive this man. Whether they hug, they kiss, whatever, reconciliation. They go home. As they get to home there, the man tries to touch or the woman tries to touch, and this other one becomes hysterical. If I have forgiven, am I still allowed to vent anger? Or I have now become demoniac? Why all of a sudden am I expressing anger when we have talked about it? And you have in other cases, let's take a Christian family. Husband and wife, they both go to church. And all of a sudden, the wife does not want to go to church. And the husband does not want to pray and whatever. Are these things normal? How do we deal with, like she says, how do you walk with a woman who is in anger, who is hurting, and they're expressing their anger?
One of the things is to acknowledge and affirm that we have the right to be angry.
Do they have?
Yeah,
when you are forgiven, you are a Christian. Why should you be angry if you are a Christian?
Because forgiveness is a process, it's a journey. When you forgive, you will start healing, and you are moving forward.
Yes.
You will move forward 5 steps,
yeah,
and go backwards another 1 step.
Yeah.
But with the intention you are going forward.
Yes.
And you take another 3 steps forward and another 1 backwards.
Yes.
But you are in a journey.
Yes.
Forgiveness is a journey.
Yes.
It doesn't come at 1 dot and then that's it.
Yes.
But it is a process.
So, but basically, even if you are Christian or you are not Christian, part of healing is to express your anger, to take it out.
Take it out.
But you need to do that responsibly. I don't know what responsible mean. I'm sure the first question it relates to, you have offended your wife. Is it given that you have also offended the church? When I'm sure in this case it's something, it has gone public. Pastor Ngwaru has offended Mrs. Ngwaru. We have discussed it between the two of us. We have forgiven each other. But the church in the public image of the church has been affected. How does the church come in?
you have broken the relationship with the church, so you start all over with the church.
Yes.
If it is public.
Yes. In what way have I offended the church? Because this adultery is about my marriage. It's me and my wife. How does the church come in?
The church comes in, the community comes in.
Yeah.
It was you married each other in church and public.
Yes.
That you are going to be faithful.
Yeah.
And you are a member. So you have broken a commandment there.
Yeah.
Obligation. So if it is public, then it has to be dealt that way.
Yes.
And then you get rebaptized, you connect back to the church.
Yes.
But if the church doesn't know, and it is just private between you and your husband, and then between you and a counselor,
yeah,
deal with that. And also you might leave other responsibilities in the church while you are dealing with that, without the church knowing what is going on.
I'm sure members of the audience are hearing it properly. Did I hear you well, Muruti or Pastor, that if the adultery is so concealed, so private, it's not between you and your wife, just between the two of you, and there is no public that knows that anything happened, that confession is not necessary to bring to church?
No, it's not necessary to bring to church.
Let's go to the second one. The second one says, you know, when I first met Liz, it was those days of the afro hair. Amen. She was, it was like she came from heaven. God left me no choice. But then, 15, 10, 20 years later, Liz is comfortable in a marriage. The afro is not being maintained. How do we deal with a spouse who is now, whether male or female, the issue of beauty is neither here or there. But the other person interacts with beautiful, handsome, pretty guys. What do you do?
That is a critical question. It's one of the questions that is in the research. Because if both of you are working, you dress well, both of you, as you leave the house.
Yes.
And if you are a housewife, or if you are a businessman and you are a man, and you dress in such and such a way, or going to the business, sometimes even professional, you are an engineer.
Yeah.
You are not always in a suit, you are on overall. As a couple, we need to develop a habit of dressing for each other. Whatever the professions are and whatever we do, we need to be in the habit of dressing for each other. So that even when we date each other and we go out, going out to eat out there is not just only going out. How do you go out? You want to be in a situation where you can, in a position where you can even take a photo when you are going out. And that requires you that you dress for each other. So that one is very critical.
So in a way you are saying
talk about it.
Dating and courtship does not end
and that does
because
not
we are
end.
Husband and wife.
Yeah, because we are husband and
we
wife.
We must continue dating.
We should continue dating. Dating should not end because marriage has begun. Should continue on. And by dating itself, it will make you change your appearance.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Then we go to the last one. Maybe we'll give it to Dr. Buitumelo. Amen. This guy attends a marriage seminar. And they are convicted. You know, women are lucky. Let me say women are lucky. Why are they lucky? When you are pregnant, we can all see, hey, where did this pregnancy come from? So there are issues there. It's very easy for women to, you get the point. But when a man has caused the pregnancy outside the marriage, there's no evidence to show that something happened. But then the guy gets to a point where I did wrong and I now need to normalize. The mother of this child, I need to find a way of taking care of. But I've got my son out there who now needs to be part of my other family where I am faithful. There's children born in faithfulness and there are those that are born out of faithfulness. But they need to be one family. How do we deal with that? Should this child come home or you stay there?
That is a very complicated one. And I will advise that it is better maybe you see your pastor or you see a therapist to go about it, because you don't know which direction the marriage is going to take. So with this, at least they can help you to go through the process and what to do and what you agree upon. Let it not where the husband is going to be involved secretly in the life of this child and the wife is not there. Both of you have to be in the life of this child. And you don't have to go to the mother of this child alone. You have to make sure that whatever you do is really building the trust, nothing else. Because some that might give them advantage to continue with their infidelity, and we are not going to allow that. And let me add another thing so that is clear, because I'm a woman. And I heard Muruti talking more about men when it comes to infidelity. Sex. Yeah. That when you are denied sex. We also have our part, which is affection. If you are not going to give us affection, don't expect us to perform when it comes to the bedroom. It's whether you like it or not, it is unfortunate that the sex is emphasized over affection, but they play part the same way. We have to ask yourself why your wife is not giving you sex. Probably there's no affection there. There's no emotional connectedness. So it has to be there. Unfortunately, we minimize each other's needs. For women, the women will say, you want sex all the time. I'm tired. I have a headache. And all of a sudden you begin to get sick. And then the husband on the other hand will say, I am an African man. I can't hug you, I can't kiss you, I can't... he doesn't even know what love means to this woman. And yet he expects to be satisfied when it comes to sexual issue. So we need to be careful when it comes to this.
Yes. Just a quick one there, Pastor. Just go ahead and answer. We are left with just about 5 minutes. I just want to ask something as we conclude this segment. Yeah.
Before the guilty party who is convicted, prepare a stage for your wife or for your husband, even for the children. Just because you want to tell the truth, it doesn't mean that you just be blunt and be open like that and kill people with the truth. See where they are, build momentum. And build momentum and the stage and create a platform, even in the environment where that when the truth is told, you want to build the people with the truth. You are not killing them with the truth.
Yeah. So basically you are saying confession shouldn't be careless.
It should be careless.
It should be redemptive.
It should be redemptive. See that you are with somebody who is trusted by your wife. You have gone to a counselor. You have been this month playing a part in the life of your spouse. They see that somebody is responsible here. There's a man, there's a woman here. So that when you are building that environment, people can believe you and also you are redemptive in your confession.
Okay, fine. There's somebody coming to the mic, and while they're doing so, doesn't a child have legal rights to both parents, irrespective of infidelity? I may be a child of infidelity, but what is that to do with me? Don't I have a right to my father? And your faithful wife, should she deny me the privilege of relating with my father? Are you getting what I'm pointing? Yes. Oh, okay. Can I complicate it much further? With your permission. It's God knows you did not use protection, right? And the devil knows you did not use protection, right? And you know you did not, and that woman knows she is HIV positive. How do we deal with that? And he says, I don't need to confess. Nobody needs to know. But now this other woman that he slept is in this condition. God knows, the devil knows, he knows.
The other dynamic, that is part of the thing.
Yeah, no, we are now touching HIV and AIDS here. Yeah, let's see how serious we can go with this answer.
Yeah, because after that you go and test yourself and see that you are in it or out. We ought to know also that for children who are born outside marriage,
yes,
and other children are born inside the marriage relationship, wherever they will meet in university, going to school. And the studies have seen that, also we have seen that in our experience, that the chances are high that wherever they will go, they will attract each other to themselves. So a sister and a brother are likely to fall in love and get married because the parents did not protect them. So it is so deep.
A boy born out of
and
the girl born out of
inside
wedlock.
the marriage, yeah.
At college, they tend to attract each other.
To attract each other.
Studies have confirmed that.
Yeah, yes, we have seen that. We have seen that in our experience.
Yes.
And it has, and we are not. This world has become too small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you will attract the similar to yourself.
Ish.
So you want to safeguard the children, and also the children should be aware where they come from. That is painful reality.
Right, so let's conclude just 1 second on this one. With Tumelo or Kachelo, any one of you. I'm the only one who knows. I went to Israel. I slept in my hotel room, and then I slept with that woman. Nobody knows except me and that woman. Should I bring it home to say, sweetheart, when I went to Israel, this is what I did?
Yeah, if you create the environment of love and knowing that you want to protect the one that has not been infected.
Yes.
That is love. And if you love somebody or you love a bird, you need to make it free.
Yes.
Whatever the decisions that they will make. But still that will be love.
So you can still go ahead and make your confession.
Yeah.
Based on love.
Based on love.
Okay. Let's hear.
In addition to what he said, you know, human mind is another thing. Even though you might try to forget about all this, unconscious behavior is still going to drive your present behavior. You are carrying baggage which you need to deal with by being truthful to another person, and you are not doing it. It's still going to go and continue to control your behavior, regardless of whether you like it or not. Regardless of whether you know it or not, meaning the baggage. If the devil knows, then everybody knows, because he's going to play around with that.
Powerful. We are hearing for ourselves. And I think at this point, let me say that it is very traumatic, not only traumatic, but I think it is disastrous to be unfaithful, and you bring all the products and the byproducts of being unfaithful to this woman or this man who is unfaithful. At the end of the day, you find maybe there is HIV in the marriage. You who brought it become, I don't know, and the other person suffers through that and whatever. So we need to be, this is where God says he hates it. Because at the end of the day, even the faithful ones will suffer the effect of your unfaithfulness and what have you. Right, that being said, 1 minute each as we close, how do we then insulate my marriage against unfaithfulness? to insulate, or to insulate it, to
protect
put
it.
a wall, to hedge it. Okay, we have forgiven each other, we have confessed. Now like you say, you are now in a new relationship. This new relationship still needs faithfulness, and we don't want to relapse. How do I then, how do I protect myself from happening?
Yeah, those who have fallen into the trap and those who have not fallen.
Yes.
Continue dating each other. You see, they say time plus something that you do within that time equals to marital satisfaction. So do something together that you love. The time plus that thing will contribute to marital satisfaction. So date each other, go to places together, and enjoy each other with time, and that also helps. Positive religious coping. Don't ask God a lot of questions. Where were you when my spouse did this? The more you blame God and say, man, I'm married in the church, I was faithful and all that, and blame yourself and blame God, you will take time before you heal. Yeah. And religion or your spirituality will not benefit you the more negative you are.
Beautiful, thanks. Your last comments, Witumelo?
Whether you have committed infidelity or not, like you said, extramarital affair, we are not immune. No marriage is immune to that. Which means we have to be conscious about the red flags that are telling us that our marriage is going down. When sex is mechanical, it's a problem. When there's no affection in the family, it's a problem. When there's no emotional connectedness in the family and there's no quality time, you are giving other things priority, but not your marriage. Then you know that your marriage might go down the hill.
And also the myths in relationships. Sometimes we have myths that we can't have sex on a holiday, on a Sabbath. And we know that somebody works here in Pretoria, the other one at Zigast or somewhere far. And you only meet on weekend. And that weekend starts on Friday, on the Sabbath. If you have myths about sex and the holiness of the Sabbath, you are going to come and go without having sex.
So you are saying sex is holy, Sabbath is holy. The two holies are powerful.
They are powerful.
Working together.
They're working together.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have myths about that, you have already a problem about that.
It's holy, holy,
Yes.
holy.
Maybe we can even have Sabbath school lesson before you get to church, and you have done a good deal.
Okay. Would like to thank the two doctors for the time and the advice and the counsel they've given us. Why don't we give them a round of applause? Thank you very much. This is all we had for you here at Littleton Seventh-day Adventist Church. Hope to meet you next time as we discuss this topic further and other topics. Thank you.